Greetings, salutations, and welcome to SportsLook, the sports television program for the high plains of West Texas and eastern New Mexico. I'm your host, Doc Elder, and just like an NBA game, we're going to feature a couple of Jays tonight. We're going to feature Jordan Rivera for Greyhound softball. We're going to feature John Sharp from Greyhound Rodeo. I'll finish up with an overtime, but as always, I'll start out with an Eastern recap. Greyhound soccer had a match last Saturday. Unfortunately, the Greyhound ladies came out on the losing end. Their regular season will come to a conclusion this week. Greyhound volleyball, unfortunately, they dropped a couple of volleyball matches on the road, Lone Star Conference style. But the good news is they have an instant chance of redemption. They'll have matches Friday and Saturday at the Steve Loy Family Foundation Stadium. And the Greyhound football team, they had to hang on for dear life at the end of the game against Sul Ross, but hang on they did. And the Greyhounds beat Sul Ross by a score of 40-34. Well, that has been your Eastern recap, so we'll clear the set and we'll bring in John Sharp right now. Welcome back to SportsLook, and we welcome back to the set of SportsLook the rodeo coach here at Eastern New Mexico University, John Sharp. And John, it doesn't seem like that long ago that we had you on, but a lot has happened since then.
A lot has. You know, our fall semester, once we get rolling with the rodeos, it's a long time, but it seems like it flies by. Yeah, you're having fun. It's a lot, especially for a first-year coach, trying to make sure you get everybody taken care of and get all the paperwork done and stuff like that. But it's really been a fun first semester of my first year as the head rodeo coach.
And it, like I said, it seems even less likely that it was almost 2 months ago since we had the College Days Rodeo here. And we'll give you a chance. You were talking off microphone before we went on the air to Alan Crawford, and a lot of people really helped to make that rodeo a success.
A lot of people did. You know, I mean, my campus community does so much. You know, I really want to say a big thank you to everybody here in the studio for the help that they did, as well as my athletics department. Max Sider and the crew, they did a great job helping us and getting the live stream out for parents that couldn't make it. The guys at the physical plant, you can't say enough good things about them. I mean, that week they stepped up in a big way. They help us with our equipment and they help us with maintenance all year, but that time of the year especially, like they really step up. So John Canmore, all those guys over there. Dusty, he came over, drove my tractor. It's just, you know, it's one big family here at Eastern, and that's huge. We also had some great sponsors come in. Lone Star Ag, Matney Transportation, Bargee Western Wear, and Backwoods Custom Apparel and Embroidery. They all stepped up in a big way to help us with our signage for sponsors, as well as Lone Star Ag helped us get our Kubota equipment in. And, you know, it's really a team effort anytime you put on a college rodeo. And we've got a really great team here at Eastern, and we look to build it and add to it for the future to help the kids and help our program.
John, because you graduated from Tatum High School, you kind of knew the lay of the land. You kind of knew about Eastern New Mexico University. But what's been the most pleasant surprise that you've experienced since you got here?
Just how welcoming everybody is. And, you know, I'm used to that being from southeastern New Mexico, West Texas. You know, I mean, it's just one group. Everybody wants to, especially when you get into the rodeo side and the agriculture side, everybody wants to see you succeed. And that's the one part over here that I just love is it's such a tight-knit community. And, you know, people are coming up to me throughout the week and, hey, the kids had a great weekend this weekend and stuff like that. You know, that gets lost in some bigger cities like Lubbock or places like that have other things going on. Whereas when you're in Portales, when you're in Roosevelt County, I mean, they know about Eastern, they know about the rodeo team, and they're cheering you on just as much as I'm cheering the kids on every single weekend.
I didn't get a chance to see much of your rodeo in person, but I got a chance on the Friday night to go out, and the weather wasn't very cooperative. It was raining, but man, there was a good crowd, and they stayed.
There was a great crowd, and we love it. You know, I mean, that's what makes this rodeo so great. It's the only one that happens in Portales every year. And it's truly a great experience. For those that haven't come, they need to make sure that they come every single year. And even if the rain comes, or we had a really nice night on Saturday night, and we had a great crowd every single night. And that's just big for our community. It's big for our kids to have that. When an Eastern New Mexico kid went, and we were lucky enough to have an Eastern New Mexico kid win, there was no feeling like it. It was just great. It was a great rodeo.
And it would have been cool if you'd had success at the school that you're coaching at now, but you had a chance to compete at Texas Tech, a school that you called home, and your kids last weekend showed up and showed out.
Yeah, we kind of had our little redemption rodeo. Jacob Walters, myself, and Mackenzie were all alumni of Texas Tech, and Mackenzie ended up winning the goat tying. Jacob was the all-around champion. He won second in the team roping. He won third in the bulldogging. So it was awesome. Anytime you get to go back to your home and show them how great we're doing, and show the people that supported me when I was in college what I'm doing with my education going on in the future, and helping future generations of rodeo kids and greyhounds, it's awesome. And anytime you can get a win, it's always good.
And of course, we're talking about two individuals that are essentially the equivalent of what we call one and dones. There's a plus and a minus, but it seems like the pluses of recruiting kids like that certainly outweigh the minuses.
Yeah, the grad school program here at Eastern New Mexico, we've got a lot of great grad school programs. Jacob's in our sports administration program here at Eastern, and Mackenzie's in our MBA program here. And they love their classwork. Their professors are great, and also get to have those kids and have them bring their experience in, and also kind of put your stamp of Eastern New Mexico on these kids and get them a taste. That was the one big thing that I told both those kids is, you're only going to be here for a year, but instilling in that Eastern New Mexico is going to be a place where we're going to have winners, and we're going to have people that are highly motivated, and we're going to have the top level talent, even if it's just for a year. That's an awesome thing to have for sure. So.
And I really like the fact that you talked about a master's in sports administration, because my older son got his master's from Eastern in sports administration, and I had my younger daughter-in-law got her MBA here. So it's good to hear the brand name is going on.
Mm-hmm. My dad always said, a higher education is a way to open more doors, opportunity for yourself. So to be able to give rodeo kids that opportunity to open more doors opportunity with a master's degree, as well as help our program move forward, not only in notoriety, but in reputation as well. It's really a win-win with those kids.
John, one of the things I love about rodeo is it's not just the human that competes, it's the human and the horse. And talk a little bit about the relationship between your competitors and their mounts.
Yeah, they're our partners. That's the truth. And every single horse is different. I always say, helping kids, I got my education in teaching. And teaching is a lot like riding a horse, because no kid learns the same, and no horse operates the same. You're never going to get on two horses that'll feel the exact same. And it really takes a high-skilled cowboy or cowgirl to make sure that they can fit the needs of every single individual horse that they ride and get the most out of them. And it's truly, like I talked about, a partnership. You have to know them. You have to feed them. You have to doctor them, take care of them when they're sick. They're kind of like our kids. And then if you do it right and you get the right partner, it's always going to be a good thing, and a good thing for your success.
We had a young lady from the rodeo squad on SportsLook a few weeks ago, a very charming young lady from Canada. And so obviously you've got kids on the team from far away, but you were telling me before we actually started the show that there's a local kid who's doing pretty well so far.
Yeah, I've been really proud of Bodie Neese. Bodie's had a great year so far. He won second at our home rodeo, and that was hard. I always make the comment that the first rodeo of the year is hard, and the rodeo you put on is hard. And a little extra cherry on top is, if it's your hometown rodeo, it can be really, really challenging, because, your parents are there and you want to do good. And Bodie really did a great job, and he's done a great job all year. We still got some stuff that we need to work on with our inexperience, but man, he comes to work every day. He's got a great mindset, great mentality. He'll try anything. He wants to get better, and those types of kids in this program, they're awesome. We also have some other local kids that have done really well. Cassidy Lightfoot out of Corona. She's made the short round back-to-back rodeos in Lovington and Lubbock. She's a freshman, so, we still got a few of the freshman jitters we got to work out, just like in any sport, but she ropes really good, and, she's been fighting through some hard stuff this year, and I know she's going to come out better and stronger on the end of it. We also have another kid, Cutter Perio, a local kid. He's 4th in the region right now in the tie-down roping. He ropes tremendous, and he's really starting to figure out the college rodeos. They're two-head, and you kind of have to build your run as the weekend goes, and he's starting to figure it out, and he's got a bright, bright future. We're glad to be able to have him wearing our Eastern New Mexico brand for all the great things that he's going to go on to do.
People may not know this who are only casual fans of sports, but there are actually 2 seasons. There are fall rodeos and there are spring rodeos. So what's left in the fall for you guys?
In the fall, we have Clarendon in a week. So November 13th, 14th, 15th. It's actually in Childress, Texas this year is where they're going to have the Clarendon College Rodeo at. And then when we wrap the fall up, the kids will kind of take a break. Some of our kids will go to Vegas for some ropings, some junior ropings or the World Series finale. And then we'll come back, we'll get rested up, and then we'll be ready for the spring. And the 5 rodeos that'll come that'll play the biggest impact on who makes the college finals in June.
Well, based on what you've done so far, I think we'll definitely be talking about rodeo in June in association with Eastern.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, Coach, best of luck the rest of the way, and congratulations on the success you've had so far.
Thank you, Doc.
All right. Well, that is going to wrap up our first interview segment, so we'll clear the set, and we'll bring in Jordan Rivera from Greyhound Softball right now. Welcome back to SportsLook, and we bring back to the set of SportsLook Jordan Rivera, a pitcher from Greyhound Softball who was a guest last year. And Jordan, welcome back.
Hi, Doc. Nice to be back.
It doesn't seem like that long ago.
No, it doesn't. It felt like yesterday, honestly.
But a lot has happened. I mean, when we had you on, the Greyhound Softball team was hoping to go to the LSC playoffs, and once again you did.
We did, and it was awesome. 2 years in a row since I've been here. It's a huge thing, so hopefully this season it happens again.
Well, I'd like to think it's because you showed up. That's the X factor that's helped us. But for people who don't remember, 2 years in a row, you went into the LSC, you had to play a higher seed first game, got the victory, had to play like the number 1 seed, and you came close both years in those games.
Right. Yeah, the first year we lost by 1 against UT Tyler. They won it all. 2 years in a row, too. I mean, it was just 1 point away to, making it farther, And last year we played the higher seed. We didn't play that bad, but now it's our last year. Hopefully it can only go up from there,
Jordan, for people who may not have seen the episode, tell us where you're from and the process that got you to wearing the green and silver at Eastern.
Okay, so I'm from Las Cruces, New Mexico, born and raised, not too far from here, like 4 hours away, near El Paso. So my freshman year, I went to Francis Marion University in South Carolina. I loved it over there. It was a fun experience. I loved it. And then just decided maybe I wanted to come closer to home. So I decided mid-season, during the fall of my sophomore year, that I wanted to transfer. So got back into contact with Coach Amanda because she wanted to recruit me from the jump since I was a senior in high school. And I gave her the call personally. I reached out to her and I was like, hey, I would love to be a Greyhound and come back closer to home and rep New Mexico, And she was like, of course, absolutely. I would love you to be here. So I came into season my sophomore year, and honestly, it was easy. I loved all the girls. I loved Coach Amanda, Coach Shanna. It was an easy ride, and I thought we did really good that year too. And I just jumped. I don't know. I just automatically clicked with everyone on the team, and yeah, that's my story how I got here.
Jordan, were you always a pitcher and exclusively a pitcher, or did you play another position and become a pitcher?
Okay, so I'd say when I was 14, I used to play like the corner, so third base and first base, but I would pitch also. But I really wasn't into pitching, not as much as I am now. And then I feel like when I got into high school, not my freshman year, because I didn't pitch my freshman year at all.
Oh.
I was just a DP, and I played outfield actually, and people wouldn't believe that, but I played outfield, and my sophomore year hit, and that was COVID year. So I took a break from softball. I mean, overall, I couldn't really do anything.
No.
So junior year is when I officially was like, okay, like I'm gonna start working on my pitching because my team, my high school team, Mayfield High School in Las Cruces, they needed me. You know, I mean, they didn't really have any more pitchers; they were all gone. So I decided, like, let me step up and become a pitcher. So ever since then, I loved pitching, and I enjoy, I don't know, just being the quarterback in softball. That's what I call it. You know, like I have a big job out there, so I really enjoy that.
Did you come from a family that was sports oriented, or are you kind of the outlier in your family?
That's funny that you say that because my family always says my sister's the pretty one and my brother's the smart one and I'm the athletic one. But I mean, honestly, my dad played in high school and he was a running back. He was super fast. And it's my mom, she did pom and she was very athletic too. So I feel like I got those genes from my parents, but just me, like I said, like no, none of my other siblings got those athletic genes but me.
Well, you got pretty smart and athletic all rolled into one.
I know, just not the pretty part.
So, Jordan, what was it about Francis Marion as opposed to any other school that you could have gone to?
Okay, so basically during my junior year of high school, I got recruited to play with this team in Virginia. And he was like, his name is Scott Haley. I met him and he was like basically saying, hey, I will fly you out here every weekend if you could just come play with my team. And, you know, and I was like, that's awesome. Like, I would love to. I mean, free flight, like, they'll take care of me. And so that whole year, he flew me out. I mean, the whole summer, my bad. He flew me out like almost every weekend, and we would play like in North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia. And I wasn't really sure if I wanted to play out there. I just enjoyed helping the team and having fun, you know what I mean, and enjoying what I love. And then Francis Marion, one of the coaches, reached out to me, and that's how the whole recruiting process happened. Just ended up, went on a visit, ended up liking it, and that's why I ended up going there my freshman year. And it was near the beach, too, so it's beautiful.
Yes, absolutely. I'm very familiar with
Yeah.
Francis Marion University. So, talk about Coach Fiefel. What was it that made you want to play for her, and what have you enjoyed the most about playing for her?
So I feel like in the beginning, we automatically clicked because it just seemed like she wanted me. Like she wanted all of me and she wanted just to make me better, you know? And I love coaches who I could see that drive in their eye like that. Oh, like you're good, but I want to make you better. And that's instantly what I saw from Coach Amanda, especially like knowing her past and how amazing she's done, like pitching wise and being in the Hall of Fame. And I wanted to be with that coach. And eventually our connection just grew. We found out we're very similar in good and bad ways. We're both very stubborn, but at the same time, our drive is there, and we just want our whole team to succeed. And I feel like we work very well together. As me being a pitcher and her being my pitching coach, to be that pitcher on the mound, to lead the team and to do very good. So I just love her coaching style and everything. And I feel like we just really grew, even outside of softball. I look at her as my other mom, and I really love her. But she's a good coach to everyone.
What sort of an effect, I mean, by the time you get to be the age you were when you came to Eastern, you pretty much got a pitching motion down. But
Right.
there's the mental aspect, there's the scouting aspect. What has she done for you in particular?
Like for me, like since
Yep,
I've been playing
to help
here.
you, yeah.
So we have like individual bullpens. And if that's what you're talking about, like we go outside, we do conditioning, just pitchers. Like it's just me, one other pitcher, and her. And she just works and works and works with us just so we can become consistent, powerful. And she just knows everything that that we need to become a great pitcher. And I just love how she spends that individual time with us, like before weights, you know, and not with the whole team, just us pitchers. And we'll do some crazy drills, but they work. They help us get that leg power and that strength, you know. And I just know she cares about us pitchers deeply. And yeah, that's what's been working for us.
What's the big difference between being a successful high school pitcher and being a successful college pitcher?
So high school to me kind of just seemed like it was fun, you know, like I'm just here to have fun and do good. And I don't know, I felt like there wasn't really pressure. And now that I'm in college, there's a lot of pressure, but I love the pressure. It's what drives me. And I feel like the difference is in college, it's more serious. Your competitors are really good. Like you're playing against the best of the best in the nation. We're in the best D2 nation in the whole country, you know? So I feel like it's just more serious, you know, but to me, it drives me to do better.
Some pitchers are blessed with velocity. They can just throw the ball by 90% of the batters.
Right.
A lot of pitchers have to pitch to a spot, and they either try to induce flyouts or ground outs. Or are you a blow it right by them, or are you an induced flyout or induced ground outs?
Oh, that's funny you say that, because I've always been the fast pitcher. Like, oh, she's fast. Like, let's just, like, I'm scared, or like, if we just touch the ball, it's gonna be gone. Which I hated that in the beginning, you know, because it's like, dang, if they touch my ball, it's a home run. But so I'd say like it's my speed. But me and Coach Matt have been working on my spin, so I could have both. It's a deadly combo. That's what you want as a pitcher, to have speed and amazing spin. So they definitely won't touch it, you know. So yeah.
Yeah, we saw one of those guys pitch for the Dodgers in the World Series.
Yeah.
The Yamamoto guy could throw fast, and he could
spin the ball. Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about the student part of you. What are you majoring in, and what do you hope to do with your degree?
So I'm a communications major, emphasis in broadcast and production. You know, I'm scared. I'm a senior. I have to figure out my life next year. But I'm hoping to work for the NFL one day.
Wow.
Hopefully for the Chiefs. But I would love, my plan as of now is to move to Albuquerque and hopefully work for UNM and help around there. You know, they have a good broadcast program there, I heard. Or maybe even work for the minor league team there, you know, starting off with baseball. Because I love baseball, working it, you know what I mean? But I would love to do football. So maybe hopefully working for UNM in the football team. But I'm moving there for sure after college.
And I was going to say, 2028, softball comes back to the Olympics. Maybe you could do that.
I hope so. I really hope so. That'd be awesome. And it's in the U.S., I heard.
Yes, it is.
So I really hope
in
I
LA. Well, Jordan, congratulations on the success you've had so far in your career. And let's hope that this year we make an even deeper drive into the Lone Star Conference.
Okay, thank you so much, Doc.
All right, well, that is going to wrap up the interview segment of SportsLook, so we'll clear this out, and I'll finish up with an overtime right now. If I promise it'll be the last time this fall, can I talk about one more Los Angeles Dodger pitcher in an overtime? And I bet you know which one I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about Yoshinobu Yamamoto. He was the most valuable player in the recently concluded World Series. How did he get that award? Well, he had a 1.12 earned run average, and even more impressively, he won 3 of the 4 games, 2 of them as a starter, 1, obviously, in Game 7 as a relief pitcher. Since 1968, there have only been 2 pitchers in World Series that have won 3 out of the 4 games. The last one, Randy Johnson, was all the way back in 2001. So, Mr. Yamamoto, you had yourself a series. Well, that will wrap up an overtime, and that will wrap up an episode of SportsLook. I'd like to thank my guests, John Sharp and Jordan Rivera. Mr. Kyle, once again, as my floor director, doing a great job. So for all those aforementioned people, this is Doc Elder saying, so long.